Well, special welcome this morning to all of our Rotarians that are meeting us on Zoom today. We're glad you're here. Let me just look up there, see who all is there. Clint, how are you? There's Bob and Doreen. Max is there. Jim, Laura. Glad you guys are all there. Jimmy, Johnny Eastwood's there. Nicole. Glad you're joining us again. Who is L? Is that Lourdes? We got a screen that just says L on it. All right. Well, there's Chris Dobson. Hello, Chris. Glad all you guys are there. All right. Well, good morning or good afternoon as it is. Welcome to the Thursday, July 16th meeting of your Irving Los Colinas Rotary Club. Getting an echo in this ear, Jordan. I'm not sure where that's coming from. We're going to begin our meeting today. Bill Lamar will lead us in prayer. Dr. Parra will lead us in pledge. And Neil and Sandra will lead us in song. So, Bill?
Sir, would you join me in the spirit of prayer? Eternal God, we give you thanks for the blessings of this day, this glorious day. We give you thanks for this club and its work in our community. We give you thanks for the opportunity to be together, whether that's virtually or in person, in this time of enormous uncertainty in our country. We ask your Spirit to be upon us, to bless the work of our club, to bless the food that has been prepared for us, and to keep us in our conversations and in the rest of this day in your peace. In the name of the Christ we pray. Amen.
Parra. Right. United States of America. The Republic which stands, the nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I come to taste of the sweet land of liberty. I realize see land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrims cry, from every mountain let freedom ring. Well done. You may be seated. Good job. We have a visiting Rotarian with a good voice. We're going to introduce him in a minute. All right. Well, our introduction of our visiting Rotarians and guests, Linda Despain, do you have that sheet with you? Let me take the mic and see if I can be mobile here. Introduced our guests. You have a special guest with you today, don't you?
I do. My first guest is very special. My son, Dane Despain, is with us today. Glad to have him join us.
Hi, Dane.
And then we have another guest, Gene DeVos. Gene, we're so glad to have you with us today. Thank you, sir.
Hi, Gene.
Andrew.
That's it. Thank you, Gene. Let's give all of our visiting Rotarians and guests a warm welcome. And Gene was the one you heard standing next to Don George. The two of them could do a duet. They were singing quite well. So if you're musically inclined, this is the table up front. Well, we have a couple of announcements. First of all, this is our second meeting of the new Rotary year. This is our third meeting in our multi-hybrid format. So I want to say welcome to all of the Rotarians that are joining us in person. I believe there's close to 20 of you here, so thank you for doing that. I want to say thank you to all of our Rotarians joining us on Zoom. It looks like we have another exactly 20 online there. Let's give our Zoom folks a good welcome, all right? Glad you guys are there. Am I unmuted? Can y'all hear me on Zoom? Okay, good. And then we're also Facebook Live. So to those of you that are watching on Facebook Live, we welcome you. Glad you're part of the meeting today. Last week we had 9 people watching on Facebook Live. So between all of our methods, we're having about 50 people join us for Rotary every week. That's outstanding. So I thank you for that. Let me get a couple of quick announcements out of the way before we get into our program. Linda Despain has an announcement and a presentation. So Linda, come forward if you will, please.
Robert, on behalf of State Farm and the Linda Despain Agency, we would like to make a contribution of $500 from our Good Neighbor Community Fund, which is to support and assist local charities and individuals that work daily to help families and neighbors in need. And hopefully this will make a difference for many individuals that are needing help during the pandemic.
Linda, thank you. Let's move out in front and I'll get somebody to get a picture. So who's got a camera handy? Bob, we normally depend upon you. Can you take a picture through Zoom? No, that probably wouldn't work today. All right. Lazaro's got it here. So let me shake your hand this way and then you can turn the check around so he can see it as well. All right. Got one, Shane? All right, Linda, thank you so very much. And we will put that to its designated purpose there. We have another quick announcement. John Van Buren, who is, come on up. This is not the program announcement. This is your announcement. Your announcement about district training. Welcome, John. Glad you're here. Tell us what's coming up for us on district training.
I'd be glad to. This is an unusual year, and in many ways, it's better. You know that Rotary does a lot of training, and every year they have a multi-district training. It's normally limited to just over 100 people because of space considerations. This year, because the training will be on Zoom, it's open to anybody that wants to sign up. There are seminars in membership, in public service, in public image. And I will give the link to the program to Robert. If you have any interest in this training, it's August 1st. It's a Saturday. It's all day or part of a day, how many hours you want to sign in. You'll have the link, as I said. Get a hold of Robert, get a hold of me, and sign up. I can't tell you how important training is, because if you get yourself involved in training, it will raise your enthusiasm level for Rotary to heights that you haven't seen before, and it will help you in this club and in your personal life. So sign up.
We'll do it. Leave that sheet with John. And Jordan, can we scan this and get it up on Zoom and on YouTube? So we'll email you the link, so if you want to register, but we'll also have the list. It looks like there's about 20 different classes that are open and available, and we'll make those open to as many that want to attend today. Well, we're running a little bit ahead of time, so I'm going to do something that we haven't done in a while, and that is I'm just going to get a how are you doing type update. So anybody in our club, and those of you on Zoom, I'm going to come to one of you in a minute, and I just want you to kind of give us an update on how you're doing. So anything interesting, travel or interesting in family that you would like to update the club on, you can raise your hand, or I'm going to come pick somebody real quick. All right. I'm waiting for those hands to go up. All right. Hold on, Jerry. I'm going to go over here to Val because she had her hand up first. Stand up here, ma'am. What's your name? Where are you from? No.
I just learned today that I have 3 children, and my 2 sons tested negative for COVID. So I'm pretty excited. Just wanted to share that.
That is a good aside.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you. We're happy with that. Jerry, stand up. Glad you're here. What interesting things are happening in your life?
I got my old 38-year-old son finally getting married this weekend.
Wow.
He's getting married down in the Brownsville area, South Padre Island. The wedding went from 100 people to 50 people, and now we're down to about 8 people.
Okay.
Because of COVID and everybody dropping out, the risk and so forth. So I might be the only person on his side of the family that's there. So, but anyway, we're excited about that.
That is exciting. Travel safe, and South Padre is a nice place. It shouldn't be crowded if everybody's not coming. How about anybody on Zoom? Now, every time I turn around and look at the screen, I realize my back's to you. So I'm going to look at the camera and just ask anybody on Zoom that has an interesting. Oh, Max is raising her hand.
So I just want to reiterate what John said. This training that he was talking
Max,
about.
hang on. I got to figure out how, Jordan, how are we going to hear Max? Okay. Try it again, Max.
I want to reiterate the remarks that John Van Buren made. The training that is going to be happening on August 1st will be excellent. Because it's virtual, a lot of the Rotary excellent speakers and authorities that you don't get a chance to hear locally because it costs too much to bring them in will be presenting. And so everything from how to better spread our public image to foundation and how it's working for you is going to be discussed. There's going to be some great speakers, and please, if you can't, it goes from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. If you can't sign up for the whole thing, you have the ability to select the specific sessions you want to listen to. So if you're just interested, for instance, in membership, sign up for that one. Plus the plenary sessions will be very, very informative as well. So hope you all sign up.
Now, Max, I noticed on the sheet that the program ends today with a cocktails and hat parade. Do we need any description on that?
Bring your own is all I can say.
Bring your own is all she said. All right. Well, thank you for that, Max. I'm going to ask John Van Buren to come up and introduce our speaker for today. John?
This is a red letter day, 2 shots at the mic in the same.
They'll hear you, and then
I'm sure.
if they raise their hand, you'll hear the question.
Okay. I'm sure that every person in Irving.
We cannot hear him.
Says to themselves, I see a need here in the community. I wish somebody would do something about it. And with most people, that's usually as far as it goes. But there are a handful of people who, when they see a need, they decide to do something about it. Our speaker is one of those folks who not only talks a good game, but
We cannot hear him.
she's a friend of mine. Her name is Michelle Flores, and I think you'll be really interested in what Michelle has to say.
Thank you, John. Hello. Thank you guys so much for having me. I made a script so I stay on track because I told John, I said, I'm not a super long-winded person. I like to listen. I like to be the behind the scenes person. And so getting out here and sharing and kind of advocating for what we're doing in the community is, out of my comfort zone, but I'm so excited and so thankful. You guys are such a warm and welcome group. So I appreciate the introduction, John. My whole adult life has been wrapped around working with kids and youth. I started as a teacher, and so I talk to kids all the time, but being amongst such great individuals as yourself is such an honor as well. So I thank you for that welcome. But for the past 8 years, I've had the distinct pleasure of growing All Things Made New. We're a small but mighty organization, and I guess that not many of you have heard of us yet. We serve the greater Irving community with youth programming. Through the years, we have grown to serve the need best to support youth from all backgrounds and walks of life. I started my journey with All Things Made New as a teacher in Irving ISD at Paul Keyes Elementary. I had the sweet privilege of working with young minds and watching them grow through elementary school to middle school. After watching students year after year without ample support outside of school, the need in my heart just continued to arise. Once I saw the need from the inside out, the Lord called me away for a journey that was foreign but passionate for me. What started out as mentoring middle school girls soon developed into an organization that does so much more. I'd like to start off with a story of one of our sweet girls who started with the organization in middle school and is now going into her sophomore year of college. She calls this, "My home is broken and I am not." She says, "My home was filled with yelling and shattered glass. My weekends consisted of looking after my father or looking for him. Dreading the weekend because I never knew what it would hold. Coming from a broken home was very difficult because I had no support system. I was supposed to always have good grades in advanced classes, 2 years above my grade, go to soccer practice and games for both my school team and my rec league, and be passionately driven to succeed, despite knowing I would receive no recognition from those that mattered most to me. Aside from all the responsibilities, I also had to be a babysitter to my alcoholic father. When my father would pick me up from school, my mom would give me the same speech over the phone every Friday. Wherever he goes, you go. Even if he doesn't want you to go, follow him. The pressure of having to constantly keep an eye on my dad was too much. Every time I took my eyes off my dad, he managed to drive off and not come back home, and I felt I caused it. I would often question my circumstance, angry because I did not sign up to be his parent. I had not asked to be born into a broken home. I was angry at my father, my mother, and at God. I kept asking, why? God, why doesn't my dad love me enough to stop drinking and stay home? Mom, why don't you just leave him? With so many mixed emotions and troubled thoughts, my only outlet was self-harm. Taking razor blades and scissors to my skin was the only way I could feel the release to the hurt that I had felt. I grew sick of the unanswered questions, which were a result of everyone choosing not to acknowledge the toxic environment of my family. After silently hurting myself for years, I decided to have a voice. I did not want to be a broken home. I did not want my broken home to break me. I used the hurt and the anger to fuel my drive for recovery. If no one else would speak, I would. So I did by confronting my mom about taking care of my dad. I told her about the pain that was unbearable unless I bled. It took so much of me to be able to tell my mother that I had been cutting myself. Once I found my voice, I demanded everyone around me listen. I started healing. Through my own will of wanting to get better, I started going to a mentoring program. Seeking help was tough because I'm a very independent person and I never wanted to seem weak. But I realized asking for help is brave. Being able to talk about my life at home with mentors helped me overcome my situation. I've become a positive, dedicated person who is happy to be here today because I've been given the chance to share my story with younger girls in the mentoring program who unfortunately have a similar story as me. Sharing my story has shown me my influential power and strength. The shattered glass and cracked walls of my home are my self-harm scars. They represent a house that has been lived in and survived a storm. And this is her story. She began attending All Things Made New in middle school and chose to make it a priority in her life because of the direct benefits she found from the activities, mentor relationships, and personal decisions and changes she made for herself, all for the betterment of her future. We walked alongside of her through the ups and downs the past 8 years, attending her soccer games when her parents wouldn't or couldn't, helped her apply for college, and moved her into her dorm room as a first generation college student in her family. We helped her to decorate her room, get excited about what's to come, and we even found a sponsor to help take care of some of the basic needs like her books for college, since she was working full-time and going to school full-time to help pay for her tuition. We wanted to alleviate that burden and letting her know that there was someone who cared. She has grown in ways she never thought were possible, found confidence in her accomplishments, and learned valuable lessons in her failures, all the while not losing sight of her value and where she was headed in life. As an organization, All Things Made New focuses and has expanded to different areas of youth development. Our goal is to support youth and empower them support and empower youth facing high-risk behaviors in their community through mentorship, character development, and life skills training. If anyone has seen the pressures that young people face today, they can be daunting. Between social media, drugs, bullying, and the things that they're exposed to at such a young age that really rob them of their innocence, it's a lot. Some of the programs that we have include individual mentoring, small group character development groups, college and career readiness, and more. Even though these programs, through them, we've had the opportunity to meet youth and their families where they're at, helping to support them outside of school in the after school hours and on the weekends, during the summers and holiday breaks. We're able to provide them all the support we can as they go through their transition of middle school to high school. We consider them a part of All Things May New family and want them to know we aren't just a program that they check in and out of, but that we are there for them. We are a network of people who want the best for them and see the best in them. We believe that every kid matters and that they can all benefit from a strong support system and intentional conversations and activities that encourage them, guide them, embrace them, and hold them accountable to be true to the goals and dreams that they have set forth for themselves. Pre-COVID, so we're in a different world now, but pre-COVID, we provided youth a safe space to come after school, have a hot meal, participate in activities in the community at our facility in South Irving. We also housed small group sessions for them each week. Our mentors would focus on intentional character development conversations with content to help them grow. Some of the topics that we would work through are resilience, forgiveness, self-confidence and identity, healthy boundaries, finding your voice to be a leader, overcoming anxiety, friendships, accountability, and more. We have an amazing program coordinator who is also an educator in Irving ISD, who helps to create the conversation guides that help our mentors who come from a variety of backgrounds in the business world to stay aware of current trends that youth are facing in these days. Through the pandemic of COVID-19 and the uncertain time our youth are facing, we chose to continue pushing forward for these youth, to remind them that even though they felt lost and isolated in the midst of everything going on, we were here for them. We created an outreach team of our social work interns to help us reach out to our families each week, check in to see how they're doing, talk to the parents, see if there were any needs that they have that were not met that they needed to be connected to, and remind them that we were here for them. Our family shared just this last week in an outreach call that mom, who was the only working individual in the home, was recently between jobs. She had lost her previous job because of COVID and was waiting for a new start date for the next one. In the meantime, they were out of food and toilet paper. We gathered up some of the materials. Am I cutting out? Okay. We gathered some of the materials from our facility, and in combination with a gift card from an amazing nonprofit that we work with and partner with, and we went to the house to provide the items for the family. While there, this young middle school boy shared with the mentor that brought the items that he was facing some confidence issues and insecurities about some puberty that he was, is that better? Okay. While we were there, the mentor that brought the items was talking to the young middle school boy about some insecurities about him starting to break out in his face. This mentor was able to share with him some skincare regimens. Even though that wasn't a life-changing situation, it helped him to have the confidence and the security to know that someone cared, because if it mattered to him, it matters to us. He now has confidence because he's making changes, making forward strides, getting on our weekly Zoom calls, and just knowing that he has someone who cares. This is one example of how All Things Made New serves. We serve students in 5th through 12th grades, including teen moms, not only here in the Irving area now, but in other states thanks to technology. We have students that are in Killeen, Austin, Fort Worth, Arkansas, and all the way to Virginia. Some of our families are in homeless situations, temporary housing, students with an incarcerated parent, single parent homes, and some with both parents just looking for additional support outside of the home to help them grow and for someone to see the best in them. No matter where they come from, the adolescent years have an enormous impact on the decision-making and future of an individual. We have seen it time and time again. What is it? Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Some of our youth want to make changes, but they don't know how to do so. They don't know where to start. They don't know who to turn to. We give them that opportunity, no matter how big or small the changes are that they want to make in their life. We have an amazing case management team that helps our families with higher needs to connect and have an advocate for their situations. We regularly partner with ICANN organizations, including Crisis Ministries and The Main Place, for a variety of services for the youth and their families we serve, including food, hygiene, and clothing. What an amazing city that we live in and work in, with nonprofits who do amazing work for the families here. The collaboration amongst everyone and the partnerships who have such big hearts for the people in Irving continues to amaze and encourage me. As we move into a new season of All Things Made New, With the changes ahead we have made to serve students and expand our reach, we have great plans to create more project-based opportunities, help them with their financial literacy, activities in art, baking, all with a mentor, giving them that personal role model to do life with them. We are also expanding our opportunities to use life coaching to help them really set those life plans and goals, have someone that's helping hold them accountable in that area as well. And I'll leave you with this. One of the things that I catch myself regularly saying to our youth that I hold on to for our organization too as well. We grow when we are stretched and pushed. Don't always look for the easy way to take, the easy path to take. The road less traveled can be the road with the biggest blessings. To watch the lives of youth who never thought they would make it, achieve and succeed in different areas of their life, that is worth everything that we could ever do for them. It's all about one life at a time and one dream at a time. And to share the words of one of our former ATMN alumni, if I hadn't been a part of all things we knew in middle school, there's no way I would have graduated high school as class president. I was hanging out with the wrong crowd, doing the wrong things, going down the wrong path. They saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and I'm so glad they never gave up on me. So I'd love to answer any questions that you have about our organization. I love dialogue more than I like just talking. So if anyone has any questions, I would love for you to connect with us on our social media, email. We're always looking for ways to get it for our kids to get involved in the community as well, because we really believe that them giving back and giving them purpose, whether it's not necessarily money that they have to have, but a service project, it allows them to find purpose in themselves. So thank you. Yes, sir.
How many kids are you working with? What areas of the city do you work?
Right now, we currently have 85. Oh, sorry. Oh, yes. He asked how many students and families that we're currently working with and what parts of town that they come in. Is that correct? Right now, we have 85 active students and families. The majority are from Irving. We do have them scattered around the Irving vicinity outlying areas, and then we have the few that are in the other areas that I mentioned, Virginia, Arkansas, Killeen, and Fort Worth. 80% come from South Irving.
How do they get to
How do they get to us? So we are a district partner. So we, counselors, deans, teachers, and students and principals can refer them to us as a district partner. A lot of it is word of mouth, social media, parents looking for something for their kids, and then other kids who are in our program tell their friends the benefits, and so then their parents get them involved.
Are there any kids you can't help?
Are there any kids we can't help? We really just take every kid where they're at and try to do everything we can. If there's something that we're not experts in, we have amazing partners that we refer them to. We are mostly experienced with kids who are dealing with self-esteem issues, needing positive role models. We have volunteers and mentors who come from substance abuse backgrounds, counseling. We have a wide variety of people that we can plug kids into that are pretty organic, but help them to kind of meet the need where they're at right then. Yes, sir. How can the rest of the community help? By part of the need is kids who have a need not knowing that we exist. So at sharing the opportunity for kids to get involved, we have, I think, 40 volunteers that are currently waiting for us to vet them to be involved in our program, which is an amazing problem to have. But we know we can reach more students in an intentional way. So sharing the need, sharing the opportunity, and then volunteering for those who want to make a longer term commitment.
Michelle, I'll see if anyone on Zoom has a question. So
Sure.
just a second.
Oh, yes.
Let's see, anybody on Zoom? Give you a chance to ask a question.
Oh, anyone on Zoom have a question?
Yeah, mine's really more about remarkable life-changing work.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Well, it is incredible to hear how many organizations and entities in this community that are working to serve our citizens, but mainly our students. And we want to give every one of them an opportunity to succeed in life. So before we move on, any other questions? Well, let me just, I got just a recent update from Jordan. We have a total of 20 people on Zoom today. We have 22 here in the room. We actually had 2 people that are watching on Facebook Live. So every one of the platforms, we had members of our Rotary Club that were participating. The program will be edited and be uploaded on YouTube. We typically have somewhere between 10 to 20 people that will watch the program, the edited version, as it comes out probably later today or tomorrow. So thank you all for continuing to be engaged in some level with Rotary. Next week, our speaker is going to be Jim Gatewood. Jim is the author, historian. He's going to be talking about Warren Diamond, the Dallas Godfather. A very interesting, factual story of the mob's work in our city from many years ago. But he always is a really, really good storyteller. He will be here in person. He did not want to do his presentation on Zoom, so I encourage you to be here for that. We also have a couple of dates that I need you to get on your calendar. We will have those of you that are part of the new 2020-2021 board, which includes our officers and all of our avenues of service directors. There's going to be a board meeting on Thursday, August 6th. It'll be the first Thursday every other month. So there'll be one in August, October, and December, 10:30. So just come a little bit early. If you need a makeup, you can come and attend that. And for those of you that are serving on the past presidents council, which we have many in this room and many of you on Zoom that are past presidents, our biannual meeting will be Thursday, September 3rd at 10:30 a.m. There'll be another one in March of 2021. So if you're a past president, please get that on your calendar. And earlier I was recognizing those of you on Zoom, but since then, well, Tracy was there. There she is. So Tracy, we're glad you joined us today. Who else did I not call upon earlier? That Rick Lindsay is on there. Hey, Rick and Lourdes. So we're glad all of you joined us by Zoom today. And we're going to continue to do this. If there's ways we can improve it, you please point those out to us. We'll work to make sure that the meeting is engaging for everybody that attends. So if you'll stand with me, we're going to do the 4-way test. Lazaro, come on up here if you will, please.
Fellow Rotarians, if you guys can please join me in the 4-way test. First, the truth. Second, third, and fourth. Thank you.
Well, before he gets away, Neil Davidson, would you come back up here? I may do this on a regular basis. We don't have too many honorary presidents in our club, but I need you to ring the bell to adjourn us again today. You're an honorary president. That is, you are good at that. So we're going to ring the bell. Those of you that weren't here last week or watching, Neil was recognized as an honorary president of this club. So ring the bell and adjourn our meeting. All right. 1, 2, 3. We are adjourned. Well done. Good job. Thank you all on Zoom. We'll leave that up.